Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Colin Fornold and I'm working for the IoT unit of Deutsche Telekom. In the following minutes, I will explain how you connect your AWS environment to the product Mobile IP VPN M2M by Deutsche Telekom. I will give you an introduction to that product, and after that I will explain you the steps that you need to follow in your AWS environment so that it can be easily connected to the Mobile IP VPN M2M. The Mobile IP VPN M2M connects your M2M or IoT devices that use mobile network technologies to your private infrastructure, in this case your AWS environment, using the IPsec protocol, meaning that we have a secure tunnel through the internet from your virtual private gateway in AWS towards the telecom gateways that are connected to the mobile network. That means that the devices can then send data and receive data from and towards the services or applications that are hosted in your AWS infrastructure in a very secure way. Because the devices use this private IP VPN tunnel to communicate to your services or applications in your AWS environment, they use private IP addresses. During the ordering process of the Mobile IP VPN M2M by Deutsche Telekom, you define the private IPv4 address range for the devices. Currently, it needs to be IPv4 because IPv6 is not supported in combination with AWS. Because this private IPv4 address range for the devices need to be also configured in AWS, we take this address range 10.60.0.0/16 as an example for the following explanations. After we now have a basic understanding about the Mobile IP VPN M2M, we can now start with the configuration in AWS. For doing so, we switch to the AWS Management Console. Before we now go into details, let me give you a high-level overview about the upcoming steps. The upcoming steps can be divided into two phases. In phase 1, you prepare everything in your AWS environment, and then you order the Mobile IP VPN M2M. After that, the telecom engineers will set up the telecom IPsec gateway and will inform you. You will then get the public IP address as well as the pre-shared key from Deutsche Telekom, and with this information you can finalize your configuration in AWS. After they did that, the tunnel can be established. The services that we will now configure are all related to the VPC. This is why we go to the VPC service. So let's assume that our application or our IoT service is hosted within this IoT application VPC. This IoT application VPC has also a private IPv4 address range. It is very important that this IPv4 address range do not overlap with the IPv4 address range for the devices. For connecting this VPC now to the Mobile IP VPN M2M, we need to configure the so-called Site-to-Site VPN Connection, because this realizes the IPsec endpoint on the AWS side. But before we can create the Site-to-Site VPN connection, we first need to configure and create the customer gateway. The customer gateway is a logical representation of the IPsec endpoint by Deutsche Telekom. So let's create one. Because for now we do not know the public IP address of the Telecom IPsec gateway, we first need to create a dummy gateway. So let's call this dummy gateway. It is very important that we choose static for routing. So for the IP address, we can take everything. So we take 2.2.2 as an example here. And then we create this. So the next step is to create a virtual private gateway. The virtual private gateway connects the Site-to-Site VPN connection to your VPC. So let's call this IoT application VPG. So this needs to be attached to your VPC. Let's do this. So this is our VPC. And this takes a while until it's attached. So the next two steps that we need to do are needed to allow traffic coming from the devices entering your VPC. First, we need to create a route in the route table. For doing so, we go to Route Tables, select the correct one, then we click on Edit Routes, and then add a route. As destination, we take the IPv4 address range for the devices. So in this example, we have chosen 10.60.0.0/16. And for target, we choose the virtual private gateway that we have just created. And then we click on Save Routes. Second, we need to make changes to our security group. We select the correct security group, we go to Inbound Rules, and then we add a rule for the IP address range of our devices. And in this case, we want to allow all traffic coming from the devices to enter our VPC. We can give it a name, and then we click on Save Rules. The next step is to create the actual site-to-site VPN connection. So we click on Create VPN Connection. We can give it a name. Then we choose the target gateway type. So in this case, it's Virtual Private Gateway, and we select the one that we have just created. Same for the customer gateway. Also, we choose the one that we have just created. And then for routing options, it is very important that you choose static. This cannot be changed afterwards. And here we need to enter the IP address range for our devices. So the rest can be left untouched. So the preset key you will get later from Telecom. But for now, we can create the VPN connection. So if you would like to order the redundant Mobile IP VPN M2M by Deutsche Telekom, you would need to create an additional site-to-site VPN connection as well as an additional customer gateway. For ordering the Mobile IP VPN M2M, you need to specify the public IPv4 address of this site-to-site VPN connection. This can be found under Tunnel Details here. It is very important that you do not delete the AWS Site-to-Site VPN connection, because otherwise you will lose this public IP address. As you can see, the AWS Site-to-Site VPN connection always comes with two tunnels. But for the Mobile IP VPN M2M, you will only need to use tunnel 1. So you only need to state this public IPv4 address. After you have ordered the Mobile IP VPN M2M and the telecom engineers did configure the telecom gateway, you will get the public IP address of the telecom site as well as the preset key. After you got the public IP address of the telecom site, you can create a new customer gateway. This gateway we can now call Telecom Gateway. Again, static for routing. And this gateway we need to now change in the site-to-site VPN connection by clicking to Modify VPN Connection. And then we choose customer gateway that we just created. Now this modification takes place, which will take a while. After you got the preset key from Deutsche Telekom, we go to Actions, Modify VPN Tunnel Options. We select Tunnel 1, because this is the IP address we have stated in the ordering process. And now we can change the preset key to the correct one that we got. So here we enter the correct preset key. So let's assume that would be something like this for the moment. And then you click on Save. And this modification will also take a while until it's completed. Before we come to the end of this video, I have one last important information for you. The AWS Site-to-Site VPN connection is completely reactive. That means that this AWS site cannot initiate the tunnel establishment between the AWS site and the telecom site. This means that the telecom site needs to do that. This can either be realized by a ping sent by telecom engineers or by real traffic coming from the devices. Now we have come to the end of this video. I hope you could follow all the steps in your own AWS subscription. In case of any questions, please check out our International IoT Support Forum. So please go to forum.iotcreators.com and you will get to this page here. You will find a lot of useful and technical information here, and you can ask questions. In either the community or someone from Deutsche Telekom will help you. Thanks a lot.